Hello, good evening. This is London Calling ASMR, and welcome to another video. Today I thought that I would do something a little different. It's a kind of video that I really enjoy watching other people do. I very much enjoy watching sort of hauls and reviews and having a little insight into what people have collections of and their thoughts on those things. And I particularly like Cologne Collection videos. I think as a guy, it's something that interests me. I would say that I am a bit of a cologne collector. I definitely don't have an obsession, and it's not a big hobby, but smell is quite a evocative sense for me, and I'm really interested in smells. I like to smell good every day, and I probably use too much cologne to do so. If I was going to the shops, I'll make sure that I smell really good when I go there to buy a loaf of bread or whatever. And over the years, I have gone through lots of different colognes. I like to try lots of different types. So I thought today we could look through the colognes that I currently have in my collection. I never have too many. I always have around, I've got 6 here today, and that's probably about as many as I'll ever have at one time, because I don't like having too many. It's too much clutter, it takes up too much space, but I've tried lots of different colognes, so we'll talk about the ones that I've got today. But first of all, we'll need to have a little sip of water. Keep hydrated. So, our first cologne. Let's start with this is an interesting one. So this is a very cheap aftershave. And I've actually recently bought a couple of bottles of this because when I first started shaving as a teenager, I think I was actually on holiday at the time. I was on holiday, and I sort of said to my mum and dad, I want to start shaving. And we went, I think we were actually in, where were we? I think we were in the United States actually. And we went to Walmart, and I bought a razor, and I bought a really cheap aftershave, which is this Aqua Velva Musk. It's very cheap aftershave, and actually I don't really use aftershave these days. I don't really use the sort of alcohol aftershave that sort of closes the pores and dries out your skin. I much more use like a moisturising balm. But of course this has a smell, and it is what it says. It's a musky smell. It's quite a manly, sort of old barber shoppy, old school smell, which is quite nostalgic for me, both because it's like an oldie worldy smell, but also because it was the first aftershave I ever had, and so it's quite evocative for me in terms of memories. And I had a lot of this for a long time. I had a bottle that lasted me years, sort of 10 years probably, and because I never really used it, because I always used moisturising balms and stuff rather than like aftershave. And then I used it once and I finished the bowl and I felt a bit sad because I was like, oh, that's my first ever aftershave and I kind of like the smell. So I bought some online on eBay to get shipped over to the UK, because I don't think you can really get it quite easily here. And now I have a couple of bottles of this. It's not very strong. On the back it says here that it is sexy, masculine, powerful. This long-lasting scent of aqua velvet musk has both the skin benefits of aftershave and magnetic scent of cologne. There's always been something about an aqua velvet man. That's so camp. Yeah. So, how would I describe this? I mean, it's orange. Yeah, it's almost kind of clinical, but it's nice. And I've been putting this on quite a lot in the mornings. But one thing I don't like about these kind of aftershaves is because they're just like liquid. You have to sort of get them on your hand or get them on your wrist and then sort of dab it around, and you always end up with a mess. It always ends up going everywhere, and you have to do it several times, and it's dripping from your hand. It's not the easiest thing to apply. But yeah, that's the first of my collection. Now let me just check what the name of this next one is. I want to get the name exactly right. Yeah, okay. I thought so. So, next up we have... Now this is a very interesting looking cologne. It looks like a spaceship, or a lava lamp, or I don't know, maybe something else that your imagination may see. Yes, this is a fantastic cologne. This is Rojas Man, and I've had a lot of compliments on this cologne. This is probably the third bottle of this I've had. I believe it's from the 90s, and I don't think it's made anymore, so it's, when you buy it, it's always it's a discontinued cologne. But it smells great. I think the idea of this is it kind of is meant to smell a bit like chocolate. Let's try a bit. Yeah. It's a very warm smell. It smells quite warm. It's like a great date night cologne. It's quite subtle. So if you're in close quarters with someone, if you're in a place that is not filled with people and lots of different smells and stuff, this is where this shines best. It's quite a cosy smell, draws people into you, as opposed to like an aftershave or a cologne that sort of just like pings out everywhere. That would be great if you're going clubbing or something. This is much better for intimate encounters. Yeah, so I'd wear this if I was going to be in a situation where there's not going to be lots of people, maybe me and one other person, maybe a couple of people, and I get a lot of compliments on this, particularly from older people. I think older people really appreciate this cologne. So a young guy like myself, a lot of colognes young guys wear are quite strong, and this is really quite a nuanced, subtle cologne, I find. And so older people really appreciate it because it feels quite sophisticated, I guess. Now the question is, how much is a bottle of this? I feel like it's not. I mean, how big is this bottle? It's a good question. How big? 100 millilitres for about £30. I think that's pretty good. That's quite cheap, really, in the grand scheme of colognes. But it's discontinued, so it's hard to find. Okay, what do we have next? Okay, keeping in a similar vein, we'll go to this next. This is Louis Cardin Sacred Eau de Parfum, 100 millilitres. Now this is kind of similar to Rahasman. It's similar in it's kind of like a dark, kind of wintry, chocolatey fragrance. And it really does smell like chocolate. And to be honest, this is sort of my, let me just check how much expensive this is. Yeah. One second. Yeah, this is my secret weapon. Nobody knows about this cologne. I mean, obviously people do, but most people you meet will not know about this cologne. But everyone will comment on it. I can't think of a single person who, when I've been wearing this cologne, hasn't said, "You smell really good. What is that?" People of all genders, ages, levels of sophistication, they love this. This is a real trick. And the reason it's such a good trick is because it's really quite a cheap cologne. You can pick up a bottle of this for between £20 to £30. Nobody else is wearing it. Nobody else knows about it. It smells great. Again, it's great for a date or a cosy sort of smell. It just brings people in. I don't know what it is, but there's something about this. It's sort of magic. I've been through a lot of bottles of this because it's sort of my go-to. Because if I want to smell good and I don't want to, don't want to feel like I'm spending lots of money to do so, then this is a great option. Particularly in the months that we've just had over the autumn and the winter. Oh, honestly, it's so good. They're kind of similar. I'd say Rahasman has a bit more of a kick to it, a bit more of a spice or a punch. Okay, let's look at what we have next. Okay, I'm going to check up the price of this next one. Oh, that's not what I want. Okay. So. Up next. Interesting. Sorry, 1 second. Let me just get the price of this exactly right. Okay, so next is a cologne that you might have heard of. This is Le Desi Pour Homme by Issey Miyake. Now this is a very big bottle. This is a 200 milliliter bottle. And I bought this big bottle because I've had a couple of smaller bottles and I know I really like this fragrance. And so I bought a bigger bottle. This is probably a bit more expensive than the ones we've been talking about. I've got through quite a lot of this actually. It's almost at the bottom. I'm looking on Google Shopping. Actually, it's not Google. It's Ecosia Shopping. And you can get. See, it varies in price here. But you can get, a 125 milliliter bottle for £78. I think I got this on a really good discount. But that would imply that this is worth about £130. I don't think I paid anywhere near that amount for it. I think I probably paid £60 for it, £70. Probably on a discounted on our website. Now this is a great fragrance for spring and summer. It's very floral. It smells very fresh. Let's try a bit. Yeah, it's quite strong. Very fresh, very floral. It's, if you're going for a picnic, that's what this makes me think of. Going for a picnic or going to hang out with friends in a park or something, that's what this makes me think of. Yeah, it's a great fragrance. I didn't particularly love it when I first bought it. I think it was when I was younger, maybe around sort of 19, 20, and I got this cologne. It probably felt too feminine for me or something, because the colognes I'd had before then had been so sort of like masculine, and so this was kind of a whole new palette to me, and so it was sort of a bit of a shock to the system, because I bought it on a whim, because it was recommended to me, but I've grown to really, really, really like it, and it's great for those hotter months, brighter months. Yeah. Now, let's come on to the final two then. On a similar theme, this is lovely. So this is from the same house. This is also Issey-Miyake, and it's Le de Homme Intense. Now, I think when I bought some colognes online, I saw that this was on sale for a really good price. It's cheaper than the normal Issey-Miyake Le de Homme. It's probably about £30, it's saying online. And I think it was on a discount, so I thought, that's a really good deal. I know I like the Pour Homme. I'll get it. I don't love it. Gotta be honest, I do not love it. Let's have a quick smell. I'm going to smell fantastic at the end of this, but it's going to be too much, too many conflicting smells. I don't know how to describe it. It smells quite generic to me. It smells like all of those colognes that university students will wear when they go to a club. That's what it smells like to me. It's strong, kind of metallic-y. It's just like a wall of smell. It just doesn't... I don't love it. And that's why it's not that empty. And if I just need to spray something on before I go out, and I don't really care quite what I smell of, it's not a particular event or anything, I'd put on maybe this. Yeah, not great. Not great. And lastly, now this is another one. This is another cologne. Yeah. So this is Ralph Lauren, Big Pony, number 1. This is the blue one. There's another one in green, I think. Maybe that's a different name. And you can get this for about, it says here £30 online for 100 millilitres. This looks about 100 millilitres, so I'm going to say that's 100 millilitres. This is similar to the last one. I bought this because it was on sale, and I recognised the name. I did a quick Google. People said it was a good cheap cologne. And I'm always on the hunt for good cheap colognes, because if you can smell good and not spend much money, then thumbs up. I don't really want to buy into the whole buying into the luxury houses, because somehow that's a statement. I don't care. I just care that I smell good. I don't care how I got there. But yeah, let's have a smell of this. Yeah. I don't think it's particularly an amazing smell. don't even know how to describe it. It smells just generic to me. Kind of sweet. This would be great if you're going clubbing. If you're going clubbing, I recommend Ralph Lauren. You can smell like a polo boy. Yeah, so those last two are not my favourites by any means. But they do the job. They're not bad. They're nothing special. But the others are special to me for different reasons, as I've said. Anyway, that's all of the colognes that I have to show you today. I'm sure as we go further into spring, I'll probably get some more to complement that side of the year. I've been quite autumny, Christmassy, wintry based for the past 4 or 5 months or whatever. So yeah, I'm interested to possibly get another cologne or two at some point. If you have any recommendations or any suggestions or any colognes that you particularly like that fit the spring and summer, please let me know in the comments below. I might be really interested to try them out and hear what you have to say. Yeah, let me know what you think about the setup today. Sort of similar to last time. Hopefully the sound's good, the quality's good. Yeah, let me know. But thank you, and I'll see you next time for some more ASMR.